Hey everyone, hope you're having a great weekend so far. We have a new filing to talk about, and this one came out last week. Sorry it's taking me a bit to get to it. It's a DTC-2021-009, and it's going to provide enhanced clarity for deadlines and processing times. Now, a lot of people have came out thinking this is a bad filing. It's not. I'll show you why. It's pretty interesting. So, what this is going to essentially affect is every DTC service guide, and there is quite a bit of them. You have a Canadian link, a Claim Connect, custody service, deposit service, distribution service guide, redemptions, reorganizations, settlement, and underwriting. There's also an operational arrangements guide that's necessary for securities to become and remain eligible for DTC services. And in essence, what we're going to be doing in all of these guides is adding a paragraph to each and every one of them. As far as the guides themselves, not much has changed other than that. It's just to clarify a few things. And again, kind of interesting, the language, once we take a look. And now, the reason there's so many guides is because it's broken down by category of all the different services provided by the DTC. And there's quite a bit, as you can see. So it does affect the DTC industry-wide or company-wide. Now, we can see here in the filing itself that it says the text of the proposed rule change is going to be attached to Exhibit 5. Now, this is where a lot of people get confused and they think I'm spreading FUD because they rush into the filing, they start reading it, and they overlook things like this. It's very important. Wow, the circle's definitely off-center there. It's supposed to be around here. Anyways, if you have not already, I would highly recommend going to the Federal Register, hitting the subscribe right here, and putting in your email. They will send you daily emails for what is waiting to be published, what is waiting to go through the Fed Register. Highly recommend that. That way you can get a head start and look into some of the things waiting to be published. Yeah, the circle. Stupid circle. So this is what it looks like when you first see the DTC rule. So it's not going to show up on the Fed Register before it shows up here. This is the first place you would be able to see it on the DTC's website. And any new rule is going to show up on the top. We can see here DTC-009 right here. Now, the reason you know that it's not been published to the register yet is because you don't see a federal release link right here, as you see right here at the bottom. So once this gets published on the register, this will show up. You'll see a date underneath it, a release number, and then you'll know it's good to go. Because if you don't know this, you could just rush into the filing, read this right here, get excited, and think that it's effective right then and there. If you read this, it says basis for summary effectiveness pursuant to section 19b3 for accelerated effectiveness. So not only is it going to be effective immediately, but on an accelerative basis. So we know that as soon as we see this here, it'll be approved. And this is the section I was talking about. So when you get the daily emails from the Fed Register, you're going to be directed here to this section, and it's going to let you know which documents have been recently published and which ones are waiting to be published. Now, the ones waiting to be published are red, and I couldn't find any examples today because it's a weekend. Usually there's none waiting to be published over the weekend, but these are all the recently published ones. So we know that these got pushed through most likely late Friday because the date, 6/14, that's Monday. That means we can expect all 4 of these to go through on Monday and be in effect. So we can stay retarded longer than you can stay solvent because it doesn't cost us to hold. So I wanted you to make sure that if you think that, if you just have a few shares, if you're not making a difference, you are. Because again, we're changing the entire structure underneath, the whole way that the plumbing of this market is working around what we're doing. So it's pretty incredible, and that's why these filings really tell the real story of what's going on here. And it's just interesting and amazing to see the effect that we all have collectively. So what's going on with the rule? Remember, Exhibit 5, referenced in the very, very beginning. Now, if you look to the left, this is the top left corner of the screen. Top left, you can expand this. It says Exhibit 5, and it says Final as well. So we know that, as soon as this is published, it's ready to go. It's final. You can click this, and then it will take you directly to that section of the filing. And this is the paragraph that they have added to each and every service guide. It says DTC, as it deems appropriate, may extend any deadline, time frame, or cutoff established by DTC, including without limitation, to address operational or other delays that could reasonably affect the ability of DTC. Participant or other stakeholder from meeting the deadline, time frame, or cutoff, or allow DTC time operationally to exercise its rights under the rules and procedures. So what that's saying is that they want no responsibility if anyone else fails to meet a deadline, and they want time to see their own rights and exercise their own rights to protect themselves. So in essence, I'll pause this, you can read it, or if you want to pause it to read these paragraphs, more than welcome to. But pretty much what they're saying, without reading it all word for word, is that if anything goes tits up, if anyone doesn't abide by the guide, which they say is a deadline more than a guide, they want no part of it, they want no responsibility, and they want no liability, especially for any losses and or expenses incurred by a participant, stakeholder, or any third party resulting from, relating to, or arising from any action taken by DTC or any action taken by a third party other than the DTCC. So, getting interesting. And they want this done on an accelerated basis. So, yeah, tits jacked. DTC is reiterating on an accelerated basis that when things go tits up, they assume no liability for the failure of a participant to meet any deadlines and or suffer losses due to action taken by the DTC or a third party other than the DTC, such as the NSCC 801. By the way, I appreciate all the newest members who joined. I've been so busy lately, I haven't had a chance to appropriately thank you. If you ever need to reach out, you can reach me here, my email, or my Twitter as well. And if you like this style of video, this is what you can expect as a member. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail, break it down a little bit more clearly. That way you can learn this process just like I know it. Again, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.